Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Okay. 25 degrees Celsius would be 25 times 1.8 is 45 plus 32 is 77. 77?
Now with the continued...
Okay, come on, guys. It was 90 degrees here for the past few days. Also, I know it's a less common thing to have air conditioning in Europe, I guess. I say I know, and then I get... My confusion is that it doesn't seem like a very... Even the ones in the windows, I'm not saying you have to have central air.
High temperatures in London.
Londoners are looking for relief from the stifling conditions.
Little hate it, the current heat wave doesn't come without problem.
When the UK struggles through a heat wave, temperatures over there can get as high as the mid-30s. For someone like me who deals with this weather for winter, that doesn't sound like much. So do the Brits just need to toughen up? I mean, we've got roads melting here in our summers. We're all used to different climates, yes, but there's more to it than that.
Oh, is she from Australia? Yeah, even hotter than US.
For starters, a heat wave is relative. Basically, it's different depending
Is that correct? Are we the only well, you have Belize and Jamaica.
For starters, a heat wave is relative. Basically, it's different depending on where you are. The World Meteorological Organization loosely defines it as more than 5 consecutive days of temperatures exceeding the average max by 5 degrees Celsius. So in the UK, it averages about 20 degrees over the summer months, whereas in Australia, it averages about 30 degrees. This means it doesn't take as high a temperature to trigger a heat wave in the UK. If we look at other cities, in Toronto, their summers are about 25 degrees. A heat wave there is 3 consecutive days over 32 degrees. And in India, with temperatures around 35 degrees, they wouldn't call a heat wave unless the air temperature reached at least 40 degrees in plains regions. So in Australia and other countries with high summer temperatures,
Hold on, 40 degrees. What is that? 32, 40, 72 plus 32, 104? Yikes.
buildings are built to keep as cool as possible. The concept is nothing new. It's called vernacular architecture, where buildings are designed based on local needs, materials, and traditions. Take a look at this house.
Mongolian.
This is a Queenslander found in, well, Queensland. They're built out of timber and on stumps. The space underneath the house helps cool the building through ventilation. There's always a wide veranda for shading and protection from heavy rains, and a corrugated iron roof, which is lightweight and durable. And there are plenty of other examples.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've seen videos of houses in the south where there's a lot of, you know, possible flooding, or if hurricanes are common and you want to keep your house above any possible running water. But seeing one just for the purpose of keeping it cool through air flowing underneath is a first.
Corrugated iron roof, which is lightweight and durable. And there are plenty of other examples of this type of building for your environment from around the world. This is a house from the Asia province of Saudi Arabia, where the temperature is moderate but it rains often. The protruding slates cascade rain away from the clay walls. In the Philippines, Bahay Kubo huts are built with bamboo, with sufficient ventilation for the hot summer, and raised above the ground to protect against torrential flooding. The igloos of the Inuits, rondavels in Africa, and gears in Mongolia. You get the idea. And along with this, there's plenty of other architectural choices made to respond to the environment. Our public spaces include plenty of shaded areas and sufficient ventilation. Not to mention, the majority of the population, about 85%, lives within 50 kilometers of the coastline.
So what do you do if you live here? Isn't Alice Springs kind of... So I guess somewhere over here, you're just in the middle of nowhere.
Where all the major cities have developed. Meaning that even in summer, we'd get a nice sea breeze to help cool down the hot air temperature. But over on the other side of the world, it's not that easy.
keep yourself cool, drink plenty of fluids, keep out of the direct sun in the heat of the day, and also keep your home as cool as you're able to by using curtains, keeping windows open at night, and so on.
Did you notice something he didn't mention?
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning is not really a thing in the UK. Offices and shopping centres are more likely to have them, but they're not a given the way they'd be here in Australia and other hotter climates. They're just not needed. That's because, like how Australian houses are built to keep cool, in the UK and other colder climates, everything is designed to keep the heat in. There aren't many overhanging eaves or awnings or shaded outdoor areas, and most windows are double glazed so that the temperature inside buildings stays as warm as possible during cold winters. Public transport is another big one. The tube is notorious for its lack of ventilation, which means the heat generated from the trains can't escape the underground system very easily. This is fine for an English summer most of the time, but as soon as the mercury starts rising, it becomes a bit unbearable. Rest assured, aircon is coming to the central.
I'm so stupid. I'm like, mercury? She means the temperature. Sorry. Mercury poisoning.
Rising.
Yes, I forget
It becomes a bit unbearable. Rest assured, aircon is coming to the central line, but in 2030. So only a few years to go then. This is all well and good for part of the year, but on the flip side, when it gets cold in Australia, you really feel it. Yes, even if you're from a place where sub-zero temperatures is normal. Because the houses are designed to perform well in summer, buildings don't really retain much heat. Even though the winter months aren't as cold with averages of about 5 degrees, most houses aren't properly insulated. The large eaves that give you welcome shade in the summer stops that same sunshine from entering in the winter. And of course, the British homes which heat up during the summer stay nice and warm during the cold winter months. So the actual...
Guys, the hottest place I've ever been in my life, and it's not really even close, is Arizona and Nevada area. The Grand Canyon, that area, okay? And it's just another level of hot. It smacks you in, like when you go out of an air conditioned place into the open air, it's like a wall hits you of just like, oh my God, it's not just hot. It's like, why am I having trouble breathing? But I feel like where I live in New England, I think we get colder winters and hotter summers than the UK. It can get really cold here, and it can get really hot. Nothing like the South, right? And definitely nothing like the Southwest, man. But yeah, that'd be my guess. Is I would imagine that we have a higher summer temperature average and a lower winter temperature average, and I think it's because of the Gulf Stream, right?
Infrastructure of a city can help the temperature feel hotter or cooler than it actually is. But depending on how long we've lived in a city, our physiology can also affect the way we react to certain temperatures. It's called acclimatization, and it's our body's long-term response to extreme temperatures. So it's not just about sweating when it's hot. It's how our bodies decide when we sweat, how much we sweat, our tendency to sweat, and even the amount of salt in our sweat. It only takes about 2 weeks for a healthy body to acclimatize, depending on different factors, and it's faster to adapt to heat than to cold. If you're used to a certain range of temperatures, anything outside of that range would feel uncomfortable to you. So both acclimatization and our city's infrastructure affects the way we feel temperature. And while we might think we're good at certain extremes, we could be proven otherwise. So next time you see this, or this, maybe don't be so quick to judge. I'll put some links down below to some sites which will help you build or improve your home to be more environmentally sustainable and energy efficient. And on the topic of interesting architecture, I wanted to leave you all with this weird story I found while researching. This is a car which was melted due to the concave windows of this building in London.
I heard this. The walkie-talkie, right? The walkie-talkie tower?
Due to the concave windows of this building in London.
So that's what ants feel like when sadistic little kids take out magnifying glasses. Really interesting. I hope I'm right about the higher average temperature in summer and lower average in winter compared to the UK. Definitely higher summer temperatures. But I'm definitely more of a cold weather person than hot weather. I enjoy warmer weather, but it's also just a lot more difficult to combat. You know, with cold weather, you can put more clothes on, right? You can maybe move around a bit, right? You'll get warmer, but sometimes there's no escaping heat, and if you don't have air conditioning, very difficult. Really interesting video, really cool video. I'm gonna give a subscribe. That was good. Really awesome. Hope you guys are all doing well. Would appreciate any comments, and could if you could teach me stuff down in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. All right, I said that twice. I don't know why. My first video of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.